Hello, I'm Emmanuel Bach. I'm back with the 2-minute masterclass, and today it's Mozart Sonata in B-flat K.454, second movement. This movement has this wonderful cantabile feeling, which really reflects not only Mozart's musical style, but also the violinist Regina Strinasacci, for whom he composed this sonata and with whom he performed it as well. And she was renowned for her cantabile ability. I think this movement also has something in common with other slow movements of Mozart. It has this really pure kind of beautiful quality to it, and I think has a lot in common actually with the slow movement of the fourth violin concerto in D major. So when we're communicating, we really need to find this singing sound, and that's really the most important aspect that we need to be thinking about. But actually that's not the only aspect. It's very much a slow movement where the violin and piano are equal, so we need to be thinking of the exchange and the dialogue that's created really between two people. So this is essentially a romantic aria, but it's an aria where two people are conversing, and perhaps it's an imaginary conversation or perhaps it's a real conversation, but right from the start we need to find that singing sound, and part of that comes from, of course, from our bow. We need to really imagine that the bow is very fluid and that these initial string crossings are made just as though we just use a very subtle movement in our wrist and connect the two strings like this. And then also here, this is the next string crossing. And another important aspect to continuing that sound is keeping the vibrato continuing while we change strings. A next important feature which really reflects this romantic aspect of the expression is the sforzando, which we have in our parts, and the violin can create that in more than one way. We can use our bow, both leaning and pushing out with the bow like this, but we can also give some life through the left hand by enlivening our vibrato a little bit, like that. An aspect which we have to bear in mind, of course, is how the emotion and character changes as we go along. And we'll see a little bit later that we can give expression to some more optimistic aspect of what is happening in the story. And just thinking back to the sforzandi, again, we need to be thinking a lot of the time as though we have words. So the sforzando is giving expression to some word perhaps which is particularly important, and a little bit later on our words might be more optimistic, and I'm thinking particularly of here. So we need to give expression to these imaginary words, which of course a singer would have, but as instrumentalists we don't have. And it's really our duty to recreate those words and these meanings which are conveyed through harmony. Of course, in the central section, the harmony changes very dramatically, and we move to B-flat minor, and here we need to find really a totally different world and different colours. There we can really start to feel this sense of pathos and some kind of regret. Of course, not long after there, we have another opportunity for a change in character. Now, whereas just now in the B-flat minor section, we need to find a colour that's somewhat hushed, like this. in the section that moves to B minor, we really need to find something very dramatic through our bow, and that's here. So we need to be very disciplined with our bow, and of course practice it slower and really sustain, so that that pathos of B minor, which is a very particular key and very remote for a movement that's in E flat major, actually, so that that really is communicated and conveyed, this very dramatic harmonic shift that Mozart creates, and the sense of pain that actually comes with that shift. So really thinking about the character and how Mozart transforms what the music has to say through this movement. That's all for today.